sweetie. All right, good evening, YouTube. How is everyone tonight on a Monday? Hopefully everyone's got a little bit of Toronto in their lineups by the looks of things. I seen last seen six to seven goals by Toronto. Tavares definitely involved in a bunch. Hyman, Matthews doing some points. Morgan Riley. A lot of guys out there getting points for the Toronto and Florida. I just saw Barkov got a goal. We saw Michael Matheson with a goal specifically, and we saw Penguins. 5 goals from the Penguins, but a lot of depth guys scoring there. I've seen Justin Schultz with a goal. Teddy Bluger has 2 goals. Let me think of who else scored. Matt Collin with a goal, and then Nick Bugstad with a goal. So 5 goals, and none of them are the big boys. So there's that. We saw the Kings jump out to an early lead just now. 1-0 by Derek Forbort. And trying to think here. And then there's a lot of low scoring games there. I think the Dallas-Winnipeg game scoreless into the second period. We see a 1-0 game in Nashville, low scoring game there. Buffalo, I think Sam Reinhart might have 2 goals in the Buffalo game. And we saw Coleman with the first goal, I think, for the Devils, and I forget who got their second one, but last I seen there it was 2-2. But that's tonight's slate. I unfortunately I tried to set lineups, and the contest that I selected late because I was out and about, and I had those lineups built last night, and I forgot to enter them. So it was like 6:40. I tried to enter a couple things, and next thing I know, I go to check my lineup, and there's none there. And this happened like 5 times, I want to say. So, hey, Greg. But let's just go ahead. We're gonna break down the main slate for tomorrow. Looks like we have a little less games here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games on the slate for tomorrow. We're going into screen share right away, and we'll look at this. Look at this game. All right, guys, first game up on the slate, we got Carolina Panthers heading over to Washington. Washington is a 140 home favorite with an over-under of 6, guys, and we got some playoff implications here. Carolina looking for a wild card spot, and Washington still trying to hold on to that. Let me make sure here that my screen does flip over. I don't know why it's not why we're not working here. Let me get this back organized here, see if we can't. See if we can't change that around. Make sure that we're working here. Well, some malfunction here in the Google Hangout. I don't know why it's doing that. It goes right to me here for the picture, but let me see if I can present and see if it works that way. All right. I guess I'll present. So here we are. Like I said, here we're going to hopefully let me go see if I can switch over to this window here. We are not working very well tonight. Stop the presenting. We're screen sharing. Why is it not screen sharing tonight? All right. Well, I guess we're not going to have a screen share due to some technical difficulties here. I don't understand it because it goes right back to me when I do a live feed here. So Not sure what's going on. This Hangouts is certainly the basic program that is just a freebie. So when I look here, guys, I'm going to break down, try to give you the best plays I can here. So looking here, Carolina-Washington game, like I said, a lot of playoff implications here. What I really analyzed across this is I like the Washington power play unit. When I look at that, that's right, Greg. You know, all those fellas just say F it and let's move on and get you guys some good plays out there. So I like his first power play unit. Not a lot of goals here across the five. You see Ovechkin, Carlson, and Oshie here, each with 2 power play points in the past 5 games. Nothing on that second power play line. So for me, you know, I think you can look across here. Oshie's still in play on that first power play unit at 5,300, a good price tag for him. And then John Carlson and Ovechkin both there. Ovechkin certainly on the goal department a little lower, but I think he's still in play here. And Kuznetsov getting more shots here. I don't like Backstrom just because of not a lot of shots there and only 2 assists. It could be a game where he sees a little more action. But for me here, I'm okay to go with the Ovechkin Carlson here. And if I'm adding in, I'd probably add Kuznetsov over adding in Backstrom. Although Backstrom is paired up with Ovechkin and Wilson on that first line, I still would go with the Kuznetsov and Oshie pairing on the second line more so. Flip the script to Carolina. What we have with Carolina here is it is Andrei Svechnikov's birthday tomorrow. 4,300, a nice bargain price here. 3 goals and assists in his last 5. So I did want to mention that out. When I look at Carolina, the power play, I'm not very impressed with. And when I look, reason for that, Carolina here has 2 power play goals on 35 shots in the past 5 games, or in the past 10 games, I'm sorry. So you look, a whole lot of zeros here. A whole lot of zeros. So I don't like the special teams there. Penalty kill, both penalty kills are weak for these guys here. Washington allowing 6 goals on 38 shots in the past 10. And we got Carolina allowing 4 goals on 40 shots in the past 10 here. So I've been getting Carolina wrong. I know I played Aho and Niederreiter the other day, and it didn't work out for me. If I'm taking Svechnikov for the birthday goal, I'm probably going to go back to Jordan Stahl here at 4,500 and Teuvo Teravainen, and specifically targeting line 2 here. And that's line 2. We saw Furland on that third line get an assist the other night. But, you know, I'd say the third line could be in play here. If you want a little depth here, Carolina looking at Furland, Lucas Wallmark, and Jordan Martinook. They're a good third line here. So Dougie Hamilton, 5,600 defensively here, has 3 points, 20 shots, and 7 blocks here. I think he's also a good play. And like I said, nothing from the Carolina power play unit. Let me see if I can't look at starting goalies here. Let me see if we got tomorrow's here. I'm going to use daily faceoffs for starting goalies and see what we got here. Unconfirmed Peter Mrazek is projected to take on Braden Holtby, but that is also unconfirmed. Greg, I hope you get it, buddy. Hope you get it. Goal from Kessel. I think 5-2. Let him out there. Let him take some shots. Next game up on the slate, guys, we got the New York Islanders traveling into Columbus, take on the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets are a 145 home favorite, over and under a 5.5 here. Once again, guys, another Metro, very important game here. And those that are following the Metro close here know the Islanders are in second place. They will, I believe, yes, Islanders will be tied with the Penguins if the Penguins do hang on to the win, and the Penguins would be 1 point behind. That's 1 point behind Washington. So when I looked at this game here, both power plays, Islanders and Blue Jackets, not the best here. So special teams for me in this game completely faded. So Islanders scored a little bit more goals recently here. So let's take a look at them guys here. I know Brock Nelson finally got some goals here in the past 5 games, I believe. Yeah, Brock Nelson, 3 goals, 2 assists, 10 shots in the past 5 here with Bailey, 3,800 play, 2 goals and assists. Eberle on that top line with 2 goals. But for me, I have to say it's still going to be Bailey Nelson on that second line. Like I said, no power play action for me. I did call Nick Leddy the other night to Joe. I was texting Joe. I said, play Nick Leddy, and he got a goal. So maybe Nick Leddy again. Maybe he finds a streak going. But I'm not too into this game, to be honest. I think it's going to be a tight defensive game here. Like I said, it's Brock Nelson there. Line 2 with Bailey is going to be my plays from the Islanders side. When you look here, let's check totals here. Columbus only taking 282 shot-wise. Really, I think you look at this game here. Even the Islanders are 285. I think a goalie could be in play here. Daily face-off here has a projection of, and I will just flip and look. Thomas Greiss is projected against Sergei Bobrovsky. So I think you're going to see tight defensive games here. Both teams around high 20s in goals. When I'm at Columbus here, I still – Josh Anderson played good the other night on that line too. But for me, I still think you go with that first line. Luc Dubois had, I think, a couple points in that game with Panarin and Atkinson. Even though they got Duchesne and Zingle here at the deadline, I still think that Atkinson and Panarin need to be the best guys on that team for them to really make a playoff run. And defensively, once again, I am not going into the defense. There is a birthday on this team, but I don't think he's playing. I think they sent him back down. It was Hannakainen's birthday, but he's not on the lineup. So no relevance there. But for me, low scoring game, I look for the top line of Columbus, second line for the Islanders. I'm not completely off. I don't want to say I'm off of Barzal and Lee on that first line. So I'm going to look at Barzal and Lee a little bit, look at some splits. I don't want to rule them out yet. But off the hand, I think that Nelson and Bailey will be continue to be the factor in this Islanders team. Next game on the slate, guys, we got Florida on a back-to-back, traveling to Montreal. Let me check something before I say the next thing. I don't think that can be right. Yeah, Montreal is a 175 home favorite with an over-under 6 here. And let me just tell you, I think you have to zone in on Montreal, guys. We've seen that Florida can't get out of their own way. I think they've given up like back-to-back 7-goal games. So I think you just keep on that route, and I think that the routing continues. So for me, Montreal, a huge play tomorrow. For me, it's Brendan Gallagher here. It's Tomas Tatar. I like the Montreal power play unit. It's going to work out well against this Florida team that hasn't been going so well. So power play 1, we see Shea Weber here on the first line. The first power play unit looks a little weird. It's that second power play unit that you would think should be the first. But, hey, We're going to look. We're going to take it. Max Domi, 6,100. Andrew Shaw, 4,800. Brendan Gallagher, 6,600. Tomas Tatar, 5,100. Jeff Petrie, 4,600. You know what? I don't even mind taking 4 of those guys. I really don't. Carey Price is probably projected. Let's take a look before going any further here. Samuel Montembeau's unconfirmed. I think he started tonight and got really taken out early, so I don't know if that's going to be true. Against Carey Price is unconfirmed as well. But for me, like I said, Carey Price is going to be in play in the 7-game lineup. Florida here, like I said, Barkov got a goal tonight. Huberdeau, Dadonov, these guys have scored a lot. It's just been the past couple games that they haven't. Trocheck and Hoffman line 2 is probably my better, the play that I like a little bit more tomorrow rather than going with Barkov, Dadonov, and Huberdeau. I think you're going to want to limit your exposure and price depth there against Carey Price. So the most I'm going is Hoffman and Trocheck on this one. Ekblad, 5,200. If you want a defenseman, I think he's still in play. Mackenzie Weegar as well. A very nice play defensively here. But like I said, Florida, I'm going to be really limited. I could see it myself like one off in that second liner or something if I don't take Price. But for me, like I said, look at this second power play unit with Shaw, Domi, Gallagher, and Tatar with Jeff Petrie. There's going to be a good play. Next game up on the slate, guys, we got the Buffalo Sabres traveling to Ottawa, take on the Ottawa Senators. Buffalo's a 120 road favorite with an over-under 6 here, guys. For Buffalo, I have to say, I think you still go to Sam Reinhart, Jeff Skinner, and I just don't see anyone else there. I don't know how much value, how much DFS relevance this Buffalo's team's had, and really it makes you wonder what happened here. What happened? Penguins, they went final. It is 5-2. But you see Eichel here, 8,200 tomorrow. 8,200. Wow. And Alex Nylander on that first line at 42 is a good play. If they're going to keep Sherry up here, I think that he's also a good play here. But I don't think I'm going to pay 8,200 for Jack Eichel tomorrow. Jeff Skinner is now on line 2 with Rodriguez and Palmerville. And now Reinhardt's on that line 3. So, really my favorite play here is to look still at Ristolainen and look at Dahlin. I think that's really where you keep your plays at, is the defensive side of things, because that's really the only surefire guy you're getting production from. Eichel, 82, I just can't see. I think he might produce tomorrow, sure, but 8,200 really makes a hard case for your lineup here. And like I said, Reinhardt at 5,300, he might be another good one-off should you go the one-off route. But, does the 2 goals tonight limit him from tomorrow? I don't think so. Flipping the script here to this Ottawa team on a back-to-back for Buffalo, like I said. Ottawa on home ice. Brady Tkachuk still 3 goals in 5 games, 17 shots, 5,800. He's a good play. Magnus Pajjarvi, 2 goals and an assist and 9 shots, 6 blocks at 3,000. Then this third line here, you see Oscar Lindberg, 2 goals and an assist, 9 shots at 3,400. But let's just, call it for what it is. These guys are your second, third pairing in your lineup that you hope hits right. Anthony Duclair on that fourth line, 2 goals, 2 assists, 9 shots, and 2 blocks at 3,400. Another cheap play. Looks like they have Thomas Chabot in there. I didn't know if he was supposed to return. I know it was late. What do we got here? Let's just take a look here. Sagan with a goal by Radulov and Ben. There's their goal. You seen, let's see, Huberto and Mike Hoffman got a goal, looks like. So, yeah, there's a couple little things. Yep, Stars certainly are doing pretty well. I've seen Essa Lindell and a couple other ones. So, that Stars certainly another team on the other side of things that need to win as many games as they can as they are inching close to that wild card. And, it's tight. It's a tight race there on that side as well. Um, both teams' power play is not that great for me. When I look at this, I like Kachuk at 5,800. I like that Duclair on the second power play with 2 goals and 2 assists at 3,400. Wish he'd shoot a little bit more, but I'm okay there. And goalie wise, you know what? I'm not going to rule out Ottawa's goalie here. Ottawa giving up 345 shots. Buffalo giving up 354 shots, but Buffalo is really not scoring a lot. So I have to say I'm not ruling out whoever Ottawa's goalie is. We'll go and look at that now. We got Carter Hutton unconfirmed. Craig Anderson will be confirmed. For me, Craig Anderson, he's in play for me. He is in play, 7,400. He's 1-1 in his past 5. He's got 3.9 GAA, but that's, he's a veteran goaltender going up against a struggling offensive team of the Buffalo Sabres. So for me, Craig Anderson, I really like where he's at. Likewise, if you game script on a Buffalo end, I still think you can get away with potentially playing Carter Hutton as well. Miles Wood just got a goal for the Devils. Miles Wood with a goal. Next game up with the slate, guys, we got the LA Kings traveling to Edmonton. Kings are on a back-to-back. Edmonton is a 205 home favorite. And over under 6 yet again. I think we know on the Edmonton side here. Greg, I believe so. I really do want to say that a goalie assist is counted. A goalie assist is a count, works for DraftKings. I don't think it does on FanDuel, I want to say, but DraftKings, yes. Yeah. I knew FanDuel was a no. I said the same thing. I'm like, how can you not? It's the same way. I think DraftKings, my pet peeve with DraftKings was on baseball. I don't think they counted like pitchers' home runs and stuff. And I was like, come on. But I guess like that's a little bit bigger difference because pitchers only hit on the National League as opposed to the American League. So it was a bigger gap for sure. Obviously that makes it because no one would play an American League pitcher should a National League pitcher get points per hitting. But that's a different topic for a different day. But I've been asked if we're gonna do some baseball, and I said I'm gonna build up some stat sheets and stuff and play for a few weeks. And then I'll see. If I find myself finding a technique that's good, I'll play it, and I'll certainly share what's been working for me, because I don't want to quit. Let's go to Edmonton here, guys. It's Draisaitl, it's McDavid, it's Cassian here, even on that first line with a goal the other night at 3,000. McDavid's 8,300. There's where I would go, guys. You get 8,200's Jack Eichel. I would see going Connor McDavid here on this 8,300. It's Greg. No, I'm not one of those like when it comes to the Buccos. I love going to the games. I'm not going to get wrong. It's a great experience and great ballpark. I am not one of those that I'm not going to give the owner an ounce of my money or anything like that. I just tend to not get down there. My wife's not a very big baseball fan, and I usually would have to go kind of solo here. But I do intend to go down there a few games this year and I got a couple new apps on my phone to buy tickets, and since I live like 6-7 minutes from the ballpark, why not? I'm just gonna buy tickets online like last 10-15 minutes. Um, why not? Permanis, yeah, it's good. It's different, for me with Permanis. I being a homer around the area, I don't get overly stoked about Permanis. I've had good and bad. There was one out on Route 51, a little bit farther out from the city. I didn't like it the time I went there, but the one in the Strip District, great meal at Permanis. Nugent Hopkins at 6,100. His price has come down, but man, 3 goals on 6 shots, and that's it. 6 shots. Yeah, and 2 of those goals have been on the power play. What it is, Greg, it gets too crowded. Yeah, especially on the weekends when people are doing some entertaining things. That's the same way with DeLuca's, which is really known for their breakfast. The line's always so far out the door, and if you're a local, you're just going to be like, I'm not going to wait like 50 minutes to get in the door. Going down here, Clefblom, I believe he's going to be in play defensively at 5,500. But yeah, for me, Draisaitl here, Chasen, and Connor McDavid are my biggest plays. I'm leaving out Nugent Hopkins here because I just, power play has been doing well for Edmonton, but the Kings side of things, they have a strong penalty kill. Flipping the script here, guys. Edmonton's penalty kills weak, so potentially you look at the power play side of things here. Kopitar at 5K, he's got enough production to say, hey, I deserve a look. Same with Dustin Brown, 5,000, 5,100 guys. These guys I think they are in play. Drew Doughty as well at 4,400. So take a look. Jeff Carter at 3,500 is probably the cheapest we've seen him all year. Another play. So that's where I'm aiming my plays here would be power play 1, and then hope to do some line correlation here. Kopitar and Brown get the line correlation. They got Jeff Carter here on the 3rd line, but I'm okay to bring him up for that power play. But for me, I don't want a goalie in this game here. Boy, if you have Stamkos in your lineup tonight, guys, you're going to be good. Victor Hedman goal, Stamkos apple. Next game up on the slate, guys, Anaheim taking on Vancouver. Vancouver is a 140 road favorite with an over-under of 5.5 here. When you look, guys, Anaheim, the story really becomes not a lot of shots, 260 shots, 315 goals against. Scoring chances, they're giving up a ton of scoring chances, 324. A ton of high danger chances and a ton of high danger goals against. So do we see Vancouver here? They are not getting a lot of high danger goals and chances for here. So, we've seen that Vancouver, both teams have a pretty good power play here. Vancouver, 7 goals on 32 shots. Anaheim, 7 goals on 42 shots. So there is some looks at the power play side of things for both Anaheim and Vancouver. I probably favor Vancouver in this one. Yeah, Greg, Vancouver is home team. Anaheim scored a little bit more lately. We saw Raquel with the goal the other night, Silverberg. Yeah, let's check that. Anaheim, 72 minutes worth of penalties in 10 games. So that's roughly like 4 power plays a game, 5 power plays a game here. So Vancouver, that you can hope to find at least 1 goal there on the 5 attempts. But let's go back to this game. Raquel, 5,600 on that first line. Also Silverberg, first line, at 4,900. These guys are getting production, 5 points for each of those guys. Very good production here for an affordable price. Leaves you possibly the ability to stack up that Edmonton side potentially, and then go into this for some price savings here. Anaheim, like I said, I'm going to fade the defense here. If I go anywhere, it's Cam Fowler. And goalie-wise now, I'm not going to get an Anaheim goalie here just because of the penalties and whatnot. Vancouver could explode on home ice. So I do like the Vancouver goalie here. What are we looking at here? We are looking at, yes, Quick and Koskinen in the last game. We are looking at Ryan Miller for Anaheim, unconfirmed, and Jacob Markstrom, unconfirmed for Vancouver. I do like Vancouver's Jacob Markstrom in this game. Potentially a 3-1, 3-2. I don't know. Okay, the over-under in this one is a 5.5. It's going to be around 5 to 6 goals, I think, this game. Markstrom 2-1 with a 2.92 in the past 5. Flipping to Anaheim. Let me just see Miller's stats for you before. He's 0-1 with a 2.77 with a 90% save. So let's go here. I did say Vancouver's power play, and that's where you're going to look. And yeah, Alex Edler, 6,100. It's the most expensive we've seen, but he's got 4 power play points in the last 5 games. So it's him, it's Patterson, it's Horvat. Horvat 7K with 5 points. Brock Besser, 6,700 for 2 goals, 2 assists in the past 5. So really want to hone in on this first power play unit. That's where I'm going to go at. You want some line correlation. I get it. So, that being said, you might leave off Horvat so you can get the Elias Pettersson, Brock Besser on that line 2 to get the line 2 correlation along with the power play, and then throw in Alex Edler on the defensive side of things. Let's see, FanDuel 5,300. FanDuel 5,300 for Alex Edler. So, yeah, you're right. It is one of those scenarios where he is cheaper on FanDuel. Looking at across this lineup, Pettersson's a little more expensive on FanDuel along with Brock Besser. Horvat is $700 FanDuel dollars cheaper than the 7K on DraftKings. And, I don't know if you really want to go anywhere else defensively here. Maybe Troy Stetcher for 10 blocks and 11 blocks and 10 shots at 3,200. DraftKings wise, 3,600 on FanDuel. So you really power play ones where you're going to look at. No need to go away from anything there else. Last game on the slate, guys, we got Chicago heading over to Arizona. Arizona 125 home favorite with an over-under 6 in this one here, guys. Over seems to happen against a Chicago team, but has Chicago kind of stalled out? I think it's been 2 or 3 games there that they haven't scored as much as people would want. Is a stall out? Has it happened? And that's really what I've been asking myself. I know I got called out for not having any of the big guys. Yeah, I get it that Kane shot like 8 times the other night, but he didn't score. So, I like Arizona here on the power play wise because Arizona's power play, they're in the middle here, middle to the bottom. But when Chicago's penalty kill is not the greatest, and by not great, I mean Chicago has given up 5 goals on 36 shots, but they don't take a lot of penalties. So for me, I'm going to look for power play line correlation just to go with that. So you see Clayton Keller on line 1. If that's where you want to go, where do you want to see him at? Clayton Keller with who's Panic or Galchenyuk there. Panic or Dvorak. Oh man, not even getting any power play correlation here. It's hard to really make a case here. I guess you might go Clayton Keller and Galchenyuk, even though for the power play line here, but it's interesting. They got Galchenyuk on the fourth line. I never get this Arizona team right. Never. Maybe you play Galchenyuk Garland here on the first power play unit because they also get fourth line correlation. That's a risky play. I think you can fade this game. Take the goalie here for Arizona. I think Arizona wins this one in a low-scoring affair. And we are going to see Corey Crawford against Darcy Kemper. Yeah, I might get torched in saying this. I think a low-scoring game. Let's look at the past 10 here. 30 goals for, 31 against for Chicago. Arizona, 22 goals for, 25 goals against here. So looks like we're going to get around a 5-goal game. Yeah, Greg, the only thing that we can say is Chicago has only taken up, at least in the past 10 games, they have been shorthanded 30 minutes time on ice for their penalty kill units. So 30 minutes is the lowest on the slate, might be the lowest in the league. So that's an average of about 2 power plays a game for Arizona to capitalize on. When you flip to Chicago, I know we saw some goals by some unlikely candidates. It was that third line, Brandon Saad, Artem Anisimov getting on the board. Maybe you go back to that third line. You can even take a look here to go with like Dylan Strome at 5,800, along with like a Brendan Perlini. But it's hard to even, if I'm looking at this and I say 8,300 for Kane, maybe Kane is your one-off play, or even Taves being a one-off play at 7,400. I probably like doing that move a little bit better. 8,800 for Kane on FanDuel is very high. There is one birthday. I think he normally plays. Let me just find him. Yeah, Connor Murphy's birthday tomorrow defensively here. 4,000. He's got 1 goal, 9 shots, 10 blocks here. It is Connor Murphy's birthday tomorrow. So take that for what it's worth. But yeah, for me, Chicago, I think, is just priced too high. Just priced a little bit too high for me to do anything but a one-off. So that's the slate, guys. I really wish my screen share would have worked tonight. It just drives me nuts, but that's what you get for free software. Me and Joe will evaluate. Me and Joe will evaluate after this, the summer, to see if we want to do anything different, or if we can just keep on going with the free stuff, getting you good plays. After all, that's what you guys are after. It's what we're after, is making a little bit of cash. Yeah, Greg, weird slate. We got some games that are certainly of importance. When you look at this, we got a lot of playoff, a lot of teams that need this. Carolina, Washington, it'll be a nail-biter game here. The Islanders, Blue Jackets, another nail-biter game. Florida and Montreal is at least a division game. Florida's certainly on the outside, probably not doing anything more. But Montreal really needs that win. And I like, when I'm looking at this slate, I'm seeing Montreal sticking out for sure against the Florida team. Like I said, they've allowed 14 goals in 2 games that I know of. I didn't look at the third, but Montreal is going to be a big one. Let's see. Edmonton, I still like the big heavy hitters there. Anaheim, Vancouver, I like that game. I really like that game, and I as I'm looking here, I constantly find myself saying, like, is it going to be a 3-2 game, or is it going to be a 5-4 game, with Anaheim, Vancouver? The goalies certainly have been both ways, where we've seen them get rocked and we've seen them stand up. But I'm really, that's a game sticking out for me. Arizona, Chicago doesn't stick out as much for me. Like I said, I see that being a little lower scoring. You know, maybe a 3-1 game kind of thing. New York Islanders, I could see the Islanders having some DFS relevance. For those two guys, if you hit the right two guys, kind of thing. Buffalo, Ottawa, I'm done with Buffalo, guys. Like I said, it would be looking at Dahlin or Ristolainen here. It was Dahlin, I think, that got involved in some scoring plays. Maybe it's Ristolainen tomorrow. That would probably be my chance I take for Buffalo. Ottawa, if Chabot is back for Ottawa, I really like playing like a Brady Tkachuk, Thomas Chabot kind of thing. I don't want to leave out even maybe considering Bobby Ryan from the Ottawa side. But that's the slate, guys. And certainly, Greg, thanks for being in the chat for me here, reminiscing about the Berg here a little bit. Washington, Carolina, which side? I'm like you. When I look at my cheat sheet that I wrote down here, Washington's the only team I actually spelled out. I didn't use the abbreviation. Maybe that's a sign that it's Washington tomorrow. They played really well in Philly the other night. They're the home team. I'm going to think that Washington, Carolina turns into like a 4-3 game, goes over the 6. But my question is, where's the goals come from? And I have a hard time thinking it's going to be Aho. I can see it being more so Jordan Stahl and that type, that second line. So that's the slate, guys. Certainly, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you watch the video tomorrow, appreciate it. I'm trying to tweet out the DFS Quarry channel for as many tweets as I can. I threw out a couple of teasers there today, some narratives, and I will continue to do that. So until next time, hopefully I get another slate breakdown tomorrow if the slate if Wednesday allows for it. So thanks, Greg, for tuning in. Thanks for everyone that did watch live, and thanks for everyone that's going to watch. Until tomorrow, I say good night.